Welcome to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Another beautiful day here. Lots of tourists coming into town the last couple days. There's been a real influx of tourism. Now we're going to go for a walk on the beach today, give you an update on the seaweed or sargassum situation, and an update on the Portuguese Man of War situation with all the jellyfish stings a couple weeks ago. Here we go. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Just for context, we have a map here. I have circled Playa del Carmen. Now, I just want to circle this section right here. Now, this is where I usually do my walks when I kind of analyze the seaweed or sargassum situation. It's at the end of Avenue Constituente. And I also kind of reported last week about this section right here, Playa Punta Esmeralda. This is where the jellyfish or the Portuguese Man of War jellyfish stings had been, and I kind of did a little report on that, and I'm going to update that. But for the purpose of today, I'm going to circle this section right here, Playa Xcalacoco. I'm presently staying at the Fives all-inclusive resort, so I am up on this beach today, and I'll do a little walk, and we'll look at the seaweed sargassum and give you an update on the Portuguese Man of War. Okay, here we are on the beach. You can see the sun's just coming up. Sunrise today was at 7:20 a.m. Now, the reason I came out early was I wanted to make sure I could see if anybody was cleaning up the seaweed this morning. And I wanted to be out. I didn't want to come in here an hour later and they'd already cleaned it up. So this is the famous pier here at the Fives Beach Hotel. It's an all-inclusive, and often there's massages at the end there. Sometimes there's weddings at the end there. So and you can see the barriers out there. So this is Playa Xcalacoco, famous beach, and it's usually associated with the Fives resort that I'm at. I'm here for a couple weeks. And there are the Bali beds. I'm looking back at the Fives Resort there. The pool is just up there. And it is probably 8 o'clock almost. And another beautiful day. Sun's coming up. Not a cloud in the sky there. It's going to be about 80 degrees today. Now, I've seen this guy out here. He's got the metal detector. And he's just gone in the water a bit. He's probably trying to get any sort of jewelry that somebody might have lost when they were in swimming in the last couple days. And there's the pier. Pelicans sitting over there. And like I said, you can see the barriers right there. And the reason I'm going to go up the beach is I want to see if there's any sargassum beyond the barriers. Now that looks like coral to me. That really doesn't look like seaweed. Maybe there's a tad of it there, but I don't see a lot of seaweed or sargassum, and I wonder, is it because of those barriers? Now you see those barriers there, they're just as far as the resort property goes, and I'm wondering, are those barriers preventing the seaweed from coming in? And as a result, I'm going to do a little walk up here, but I'm going to go past the barriers to see if there is any seaweed up beyond the barriers, and to see if these barriers are just preventing the sargassum from coming in. So anyways, we're gonna head up here. The water was beautiful. I was in there yesterday, and so if you're coming down to Playa del Carmen, I wanted to go a little bit farther north of Playa. Tourists have been coming in the last 2 days. It's been crazy how many tourists, and tourism's through the roof around this area right now, and which is good because the beaches look awesome, and they're coming down probably for Christmas and New Year, and hopefully they have a few parties. Now it looked like the wheelbarrow tracks right there, so I'm going to follow that up. There are the Bali beds. I think there's 3 rows of them there, and you got a beautiful view looking out at the water. Just going to kind of come down here, see if, oh, that's coral. So that's coral, that's not sargassum, and This is just normal residue from living on an ocean or the Gulf of Mexico here. And I am going to continue north past those barriers, maybe a couple hundred meters, just to see if these barriers are preventing the seaweed. Now, one other thing I want to talk about is the Portuguese Man of War jellyfish. I did a video last week. There was a number of articles written in the newspaper that just south of this beach right here, Punta Playa Esmeralda, there were a number of Portuguese Man of War stings. Gonna come down. That looks like some seaweed. Very, very little, but that is some sargassum right there. Well, that's coral mixed in with it. So I think this is just normal Gulf of Mexico or ocean kind of stuff that's come in on the beach. Now, these Portuguese Man of War were reported about a kilometer south of here. Last week I did a video on it. I'm just going to give you the update right now. Most of the resorts will have people kind of going out. I'm just looking at this. That's not sargassum, that's just residue, maybe a tad of it there, but that's just kind of stuff coming in out of the water. So a lot of staff basically have been out in the water early in the morning at sunrise, checking out to see if there are any jellyfish sitting on the bottom. So I just saw 5 guys in the water there checking around the pier and this area by the barriers to see if there are any jellyfish, and they haven't found any. So it looks like we might be clear of that jellyfish, Portuguese Man of War jellyfish situation. Gonna look down. Yep, that is not seaweed. That just looks like normal residue coming in from the water. I don't know if people are going to come and clean that up or not, but the water looks beautiful. You don't see any seaweed in it, floating in it, and I've been in it. Temperature's awesome. So we're starting to go beyond the barriers right here. And I'm not really seeing anything on the beach. I don't think anybody's been here cleaning it up because, like I said, I came down at 7, got the sunrise at 7:20, shot a video, popped that out the other day, and a little rocky right here. There's the sunrise. I don't think it's probably, and there's the barrier. So we are now beyond the barriers. You can see Cozumel just beyond the horizon there. A lot of cruise ships coming in. We've seen them passing by. And like I said, tourism is through the roof right now, probably one of the busiest times of year. And if you're going to come down here, I think that October, November, December, January, yep, that's not seaweed really. Last year they told us from April to October there's going to be seaweed. Well, I know that wasn't the case because February 15th the seaweed came in down in Playa del Carmen. So I think the window now is October, November, December, January, and then February, mid-February, I think the seaweed's going to start. I will be doing a seaweed update every Saturday to let you know if it's getting bad. I hope, like last year, December and January looked really good. Mid-February, I started to see it come in. So if you're coming down now to one of these all-inclusive resorts, and that's why I did this walk here, because most people coming down to Playa del Carmen are going to be staying at a resort within a kilometer of here. So the beaches look awesome. There is no seaweed. I am now beyond the barriers of the 5's all-inclusive resort. I do not see any seaweed on the beach. It looks great. If you're coming down in the next little while, this is what you're going to expect. Beaches look awesome. You're coming down at the right time. And like I said, I'll be back every Saturday for probably the next 3 months, giving you an update on the seaweed situation. And I think that Portuguese Man of War situation seems to have bypassed. Now, I think there were some storms that kind of brought these jellyfish in that are pretty dangerous. Now I'm looking at this. This is a beautiful beach right down to Playa del Carmen. Playa del Carmen is probably 3 kilometers south of here. And most people watching this video, if you're coming down the playa, there's no seaweed on here at all. So it looks great. If you're coming down to a good beach. I wanted to say thanks for coming along on this walk for me. I'm just gonna say ciao for now, and I'll see you next Saturday.